Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Joy Fay, and if you're here for the first time and you're exploring all the things that you can do with abstract painting, learning techniques and skills and building your confidence, then you're in the right place. And if you're one of my subscribers, great that you're here again. Thanks so much. So in today's video, I'm going to be exploring further what intuitive painting is. I've done a video on this before, but I thought it would be nice to do something else with it and go through the process and show you different ways about how you can access your creativity to do intuitive painting. You know, what is that exactly? Well, you can come to it in many different ways. But real intuitive painting is allowing yourself to be creative, to see what happens, to move, if you like, onto the canvas or the paper, to express yourself. And, more often than not, things will appear on the paper that are completely unexpected and magical. And if you allow yourself to go through that process and have faith in your creativity, your paintings can be absolutely amazing. And it takes a little bit of practice because you need to, if you like, stop thinking about it and just allow yourself to explore possibilities with drawing and with painting, with colors. So I'm going to go through this process with you in this video to give you some new ideas about how you can start really to express yourself, finding your way that you love to paint, and having something in front of you that is completely unexpected and different and wonderful. So let's dive in and get started. And, then you can really try this out yourself and see what happens. Okay. So I've got two paintings here that I'm going to work on. You can see that I've done something underneath, and I've just put a thin coat of gesso over the top of both of them. So there's still a little bit of colour coming through, which is fine. And I'm going to use some different things. I'm going to start with some charcoal. I've got a thick piece and a thin piece. I've got a beautiful Chinese brush here, which I want to have an experiment with. Very kind of Zen feeling on it. And I've also got these tiny little things. This is some little squeezy with a very narrow nib. I filled it with some black fluid paint and some white fluid paint, so I want to have a little play with those. So we'll see where we go. When I start off, I want to just kind of take a deep breath. I want to kind of feel as if I'm connecting and really sort of bring up in myself my creative feel and my intention. I want to have a story coming from this painting about how I'm feeling. And it's kind of interesting when you start this kind of thing, because you might be going through different challenges yourself, and there are areas that you're not feeling comfortable with. And I've got that going on at the moment. And I find that when I paint, I can release that anxiety and that tension and be creative, and it changes my whole perspective. So that's my intention on this painting. And really I could write on it if I wanted to. I could write release on it because that's what I want to do. So you might have something that you're feeling that you want to release. So have that intention before you begin, and take a deep breath. Nothing else matters. It's just you and your canvas or your paper, your paints, whatever tools and things you want to use, pencils, crayons, charcoal, whatever. Just kind of have that prepared to begin with, so you can go straight into it. So, you know, I kind of like this idea of writing, and I can, you know, even start by doing that with my finger if I wanted to. So I'm going to just get the big piece of charcoal to begin with, and I'm just going to allow myself to move into this and see where it might take me. I don't want to do a huge amount on it, but I want to do something that's going to start me off. Okay, so, whew, that's kind of fun. Now, if I like it and I want to seal that drawing, I can do that either with some fixative, some charcoal fixative, pastel fixative, or you could go the other version and just do it with some hair lacquer, which is what I'm going to do. So I've got some hair lacquer here, and I'm just going to give it a little spray. Very smelly, but you know, you put it on your hair, so it's not that toxic. So we've sealed that one. So while that's just drying off, I'm going to leave it for a minute, and I'm going to come on to the next one. Now, maybe, you know, I might do something different with this. See how I feel. Again, I'm taking a nice deep breath, relaxing. I actually feel I'd like to go back into the charcoal, but I'd like to do something else with it. And I'm going to actually put a little water on it in some areas. And I think I'm going to just use a very little soft brush just to take some of that out and smudge it in. It's kind of nice to do both with your fingers and with a brush. And you know, you're connecting up with the painting. I mean, this is all just kind of beginning, and it's an interesting way to start. And what I feel like I'd like to do now is, with this wonderful brush, I'm going to put some black paint on it, and again, just relaxing, see where this might go. Great. You can feel that there's kind of a natural movement in it, can't you? Just as a wonderful starting point, and to bring yourself out from inside onto the paper. So I'm going to leave that one now and come back to this other one. So I love some of the shapes that are going on in here, and I feel as if I could kind of paint into this a little bit now, and see what happens when I do that. So I've got a palette ready of some colours that I like, and so I'm going to have a start with some of these colours and just see where it takes me. I've got some tools, some scrapers, I've got my silicone brushes, you know, some flat brushes which I love using, you know, these kind of things. I've got some pointy brushes. So a little bit of everything that I feel I've got at hand, and that's what I suggest you have your things at hand. So if the feeling takes you, you can go with it. I've also got some kitchen roll and some sponges, and I love using the kitchen roll for dabbing off, for doing a little bit of glazing, seeing, you know, what's what. So I'm going to actually start with this flat brush and damping it down, and then we'll go into it and see. I'm wanting to, I love my colour teal, and I feel as if I can do something with this. And again, I'm just going to keep it free, see where it might go in the painting, and you know, keeping it nice and loose. Now, because I've sealed the charcoal, it's not going to come off when I paint over it, which is great, because I'm going to have some of that, you know, underneath, if this, you know, is transparent enough to see it, but it probably will be in areas. So I'm just going to have fun with putting paint on here. Might change the tone slightly and add a bit of yellow with it. So I'll have a bit of a greeny tone here. And interesting things can, you know, suddenly start to develop. Let's put that over there for now. And it's a wonderful way to begin a painting, because it really gets you into a creative space and connecting to your painting. And now I'm going to turn it round, and I've got some of this soft orange, and I kind of feel as if I like that too, so I'm going to develop that a little with this just here. Where does that want to go? So I'm having this conversation with myself. How does it feel? How does it feel? How do I feel? Where is it leading? So I'm keeping some of the shapes, but not all of them. It doesn't matter. You know, I can go in all different kinds of directions and do all different kinds of things and play and see. Now, I've kind of got a feeling that I'd like to do something with this white. So I'm going to have, this is all experimentation. If it works, let's hope it does. I can do some things with it here. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to go with my silicone brush and maybe do something with that, with the white. And then I've got a bit of black on here. I was doing that with the paint. So I'm going to come in with some of this black that's on here. Kind of like that. Let's just do a little bit more of the black. And then I've got this lovely comb. I'm going to do, it's perhaps a bit too dry now. You know, I'm in Spain and it's really hot. I've got my fan going. I've got a little bit happening. Not very much, but a little. But I'm enjoying how this is moving now. It's kind of taking on something that I really like and can develop. So I'm going to change brushes now. I'm going to go to this little flat brush, and I want to go more intense with the colour. I'm going to go more intense with the orange, and I like this shape here. So come in here, kind of like that. So, you know, when we're looking at doing this kind of thing intuitively, everything is unexpected. You know, you just don't know where it can lead you in the process. And the less you think about it, the better. So the process is very much a creative process. We're using the creative side of our brain. If you've ever heard of that wonderful book by Betty Edwards, Drawing on the Right Side of Your Brain, it's certainly worth getting a copy of that if intuitive work and being creative is something that you really want to pursue, because it helps you understand how to move from the analytical side, the left side of the brain, to the right hand side, into this creative zone. And as you'll see as I go, you have to kind of keep breathing into it, relaxing, and letting the thing really develop for itself. So now I'm going to leave that and then come back to the other one. So you can see I'm, obviously working on these two paintings, which I feel is, very helpful, because when you've got the two together, it stops you getting stuck on one. You just move back to the other. So I love working in a series of paintings. So now I'm going to do something different. I've got these two little brayers and I'm going to put some colour on with that. Again, just kind of going with the feeling and allowing the thing to develop as I go. One of the important things to keep in mind is to let go of your expectations. Embrace the idea that there's no right or wrong way to create. This is about the process, not the final product. We're on an expedition here of creativity, trying different things. Here you see me, taking some of the paint off with the kitchen roll and, developing different textures. It's all, a process of exploring and seeing what might happen when you do all the various things. And, you have to really kind of feel as if you come with an open mind. I've put some paint here actually on the briar itself and rolling that on. And that's another experiment. Let's see what happens with that. Dab it off, try something else. You can carry on doing all kinds of different things to see, how it comes out. Do you like it? And then if you don't like it, you can paint it out. And if you do, that's fantastic. So, you're kind of getting the feel, going into the feel of your drawing and letting it really develop. And you can see here that I've gone back with the charcoal and emphasizing some of the shapes, changing some of the shapes. You're free to do whatever you like. And that's the wonderful thing about it. Just see where it might take you. I was really surprised when I finished this painting. When I consider what my intention was about releasing various things, it really showed me something about my inner thoughts and my inner feelings about what I was doing. So anyway, you'll see it as we go. So just while we carry on, let me just tell you that I have a wonderful free abstract mini course which takes you through how to start to get to grips with your abstract painting, with free drawing, with colour mixing, with composition. And it's really worth doing, just, to give you some new perspectives and different ways of approaching your painting. And I'm sure you'd find it, very inspiring and interesting. So the link for that is in the description below. Now you can see here, this is really developing into something else. I'm finding myself drawing these figures in here. And again, staying in the zone, but something is really speaking to me now to develop these figures. Now, I couldn't have had a thought about that before I started it. This is coming from this creative process. So, again, it always is surprising how this works. So I'm letting the other one dry off a bit, coming back into this one, and then adding some white into it, defining some of the shapes, and just seeing what it feels like to me to start really developing this painting. So it's at this stage of a painting that you have to still keep in the zone. Sometimes it's easy to start thinking about it too much, and you don't want to do that if you can help it. Just try and keep, breathing into it, feeling your way, letting the painting guide you rather than overthinking. And, this is a time when sometimes, you can get lost in it and you wonder, what else to do. And this is why I have at the moment, these two paintings going, because as soon as that starts happening and I feel as if I'm getting stuck on it, I'll swap over and go back to the other painting. So I do recommend, something similar to that. Now, what I'm doing here is to bring in some other more muted colours, which is a mixture of the colours that I'm already using. And that helps to harmonise the picture. I'm also kind of, conscious a little now of the composition of where focal points are going to be and what I want to, emphasize. And it's such an intriguing process, because when you're in this zone, more often than not, naturally, there'll be a composition because you're not interfering with it. It's there's kind of like an intelligence that works that helps you to see where the composition is. As long as you're kind of looking at some contrast, some color values, what's dark, what's light, what's next to each other, you can't really go wrong with the composition factor in the painting. And if you feel that it's not going right, then embrace the mistakes. If something doesn't look right, don't worry. Use it as an opportunity to explore, new directions or textures. And again, as I said, swap over. I'm now onto the the other picture again, and slowly but surely, they both start coming together. And you keep it fresh and you keep in that zone, and you'll find really interesting things happening. And if you feel as if you are getting stuck, put some music on. change the atmosphere where you're painting. Do something a little bit different, to the environment. Or just walk away from it for a while. I sometimes will just leave a painting overnight, come back to it in the morning, and I can see something different. Turn it around the other way. Look at it with different eyes. Take a photograph of it. Because sometimes when you look at it on the photograph or on your camera, you see things differently to actually just doing the painting. And, stepping back and having that reflection can make a big difference to your whole perception of what you're doing. You know, the purpose of this is to enjoy it and to, you know, stay present and, you know, feel really connected to the painting and, you know, breathe into it, relax and keep in that zone. Now, if you have any questions about this, do please feel free to put them in the comments. I'm always very happy to answer questions. And don't forget that I've got this this free mini course that you can take to help you with, you know, different areas of your painting, your color mixing and your composition, and you'll find that very helpful. And then a lot of people say, when do you know that it's finished? So, and that's a question. You'll know when it's finished when it feels like it's finished. But sometimes, and this happens to me, more often than not, is I think it's finished and then I'll leave it for a couple of days, come back and say, oh, I just need to do this and need to do that. So, you know, stay open to when you actually feel that it's completed. Test your color values by taking a photograph and seeing it in black and white. Look at your composition, see how you're looking around the painting, and then you'll get that feel that you know, it has finished. So we're nearly getting to the end of this. I hope you've enjoyed watching this process, and you can take away this idea of being intuitive with your painting and allowing yourself to just create and feel as if you can really express what you're feeling in the painting. And, you know, when you look at the masters and see, you know, how they approach what they're doing with their abstract painting, it's always very emotional. You feel it resonates with you, that emotion that they have in their paintings. And this is what you'll get when you start to really understand how the intuitive painting works. So, again, I hope you've enjoyed. If you have done and you would like to subscribe and like the video, that would be fantastic. I bring out a video more or less every week, different tutorials on all different aspects to help you build your techniques and understanding of paintings. So here are the finished paintings, and it's been a really interesting insight for me to see what came out of that release intention. So hope you enjoy, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye for now.